Hi, I'm Kylie from Kylie's Couch. Today I'd like to talk to you about drugs, and in particular I want to discuss the idea that we use drugs to numb ourselves or to escape emotional pain. I think that this would be most interesting to people who use substances themselves. But it might be interesting to anyone who knows someone who uses substances to just have an idea of the psychological reasons that people use substances and what are the warning signs for in case that substance use becomes problematic. When I talk about substance use being problematic, I'm talking about when someone is using substances in a way that they have not been using it before. So it's an increase in drug use or using it for a specific purpose, like as a crutch to cope with something that's difficult in their lives. So perhaps you know someone, or perhaps you are someone who only drinks wine when you're stressed out, or who only rolls a joint at night in order to go to sleep because otherwise your thoughts are racing and you can't calm down enough to fall asleep. Or perhaps or perhaps you've noticed that you're only using drugs now since you broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or since you had that terrible, scary car accident, or since you lost your father or your mother. When we think of the problematic drug use that someone would come to a psychologist for, we're really talking about drug use that is used to substitute some kind of psychological process or emotional processing experience. I think it becomes problematic when you are using the substance as a way of avoiding yourself and a way of avoiding difficult feelings. And we see this a lot in trauma. We see this a lot in children who came from troubled backgrounds, who then grow up to be adults, who find it really, really hard to just be with difficult feelings. They never got the experiences when they were younger that taught them how to cope with difficulties. And so their version of coping with difficulties is drinking away the pain or taking drugs and numbing that part of yourself. Brené Brown talks about numbing a lot, and she talks about it in terms of the fact that we are so avoidant of our vulnerability and our shame. We don't want to feel how awful it feels to be human, to be vulnerable, to know that things aren't always great, and that sometimes we don't feel great, we don't feel good enough, we don't feel worthy, we don't feel lovable. Some people find a sense of belonging because they are part of a group that all take part in certain drug behaviors, and that makes them feel safe and connected, and that's a worthy thing to seek. It's important to want connection, to want to feel a sense of belonging. For other people, it's about destruction, self-destruction, about finding the darkness within themselves, about looking at the world and saying, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, therefore I'll fuck myself up, because what does it matter? I'm worthless anyway. I can destroy myself because I don't really love myself. So there's a lot of pain, really. There's a lot of pain, and drugs and alcohol can only take you so far. Eventually they wear off and you're left with more pain to deal with, and that's the cycle that you'll find yourself in when the drugs and alcohol become a crutch and you're so dependent on them that as soon as you come off them, you want them again, because the experience of being with yourself without the numbing effect of alcohol or drugs really it's intolerable, it's unbearable. And so for anyone who's seeking help or who's interested in thinking about help for substance problems, be warned that it is about facing your emotional pain, and it's about learning to find the strength and the self-love and the self-compassion to cope with those feelings, to manage them. It's not easy, and it's very it's very improbable that you'll have success first time, most people really struggle to end addictive behaviors. If you have some follow-up questions, please hit me up. Let me know if there's something specifically you'd like me to answer about drugs and about alcohol dependence and about the emotional impact that it has. I'd like to continue this conversation. Thank you. Bye.